Hello, everybody. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of Cleveland, Ohio, pseudo-specifically. My name's Brian Engelman. Today is Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, and this right here is Strictly Football, brought to you by the Unhappy Hour Sports Show on the New American Media. This week, we're going to take a look back at the games in Week 4, and then examine the betting trends for Week 5. Without further delay, let's launch today's program.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching the Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
Thank you all for being here. We would like to welcome Mike, Bara, and Jigba. Mike, you had quite the weekend, eh?
12-4 on my game picks. Plus, I was in Nashville having a great time at the Alien Fest in Nashville with my buddy Tom Reed, and just had a blast and watched Red Zone on the plane all the way home. It's an amazing world we live in. You know, Izzy doesn't know this, but there was a time when such a thing was impossible. I mean, to be able to watch television live, not only that, getting every single game, all the highlights, at 37,000 feet it's an amazing world we live in. And really in only one generation, it's changed from that being impossible to being amazing. So one of the technological wonders I'm grateful for.
That is an excellent point. Izzy, how fortunate do you feel that you live in a time where all the sports are happening and they're right at your fingertips? You don't even know the difference. We used to have television. I didn't have cable growing up. My dad was too cheap. I mean, all of it.
It's great. I'll probably take it for granted, but yeah, it's great. It's great.
The digital generation.
Jim remembers what it was like when you got 2 games in the morning and 1 game in the afternoon on Sunday, or the opposite way. 3 games if you were lucky.
No, I used to sit by the old Muntz radio, and listen to the football games.
Nice.
We didn't have a TV.
Well, we had a whole bunch of games this week, and I guess we should start diving into them. Take a look backward to look forward. Hey, look who's up first. Seahawks and Cardinals. 14 points in the fourth quarter for the Cardinals, but you got that last-second kick. Jason Myers blasted one to win the game. Mike Bara, what did you think of this one? This was your game of the week. You're wearing the jersey and everything. And go Mariners, by the way. Why not?
Go Mariners, yeah. Sorry about your Indians. I guess they already lost today, but it's not over.
Yeah, we have two more games, so we just got to take care of business.
Yep.
And the Dodgers Mariners World Series, my pick.
Dodgers Mariners would be great. A lot of people think Phillies Mariners. Look, the Mariners have never been there. They don't have any players that have really played in the World Series in the playoffs. We'll see how they handle the pressure, but they are good enough. They should have a shot at it. So let's go. This game, I was over at the Mitchell's house, and I did bet the game, and Jim can testify to this. I was extremely tense. I was really an asshole, but the truth is this game went exactly like Jim thought it would, and exactly like I thought it would, and exactly like my brother Dave Bara thought it would. Completely dominated by the Seahawks, who are the much better team. Even though the Seahawks are not great, they're much better than the Cardinals. Completely dominant, and really the thing flipped when the referee called Jackson Smith-Njigba for a ridiculous holding penalty that wasn't really a holding penalty at all. It took away Zach Charbonnet's touchdown. That touchdown would have made it 24-6 with about 30 seconds left in the third quarter. The game's over. Everybody packs it up and goes home. But that game flipped it. They took the points off the board. Later on, you had Jason Myers, who's one of the most irritating kickers in football, missing a makeable 52-yard field goal indoors that would have also given them a 13-point lead or a 10-point lead with under 5 minutes to play, pretty much locking up the game. He misses that. And then there was another pass interference call, which set up the Cardinals on the 2-yard line to get a couple of touchdowns. They had a couple lucky plays. They had a couple lucky catches. You're not going to stop anybody from scoring consistently, but that game should not have been close. It wasn't close. If the Cardinals had won, it would have been a real injustice because Seattle completely dominated the game and was the better team. I got lots of little things to complain about. Please, God, stop giving the ball to Zach Charbonnet anywhere except between the tackles, because if you try to get him outside, he couldn't beat me to the corner, I don't think. And I'm 65 with a bad ankle, okay? He's too slow. He can't get on the outside. If you're going to run it outside, give it to Ken Walker. Ken Walker, the guy runs backwards sometimes more than he runs forward. Guy, would you just please stick your head down, go forward, and get the 3 yards, buddy, instead of trying to make everything into a 25-yard gain? But other than that, I mean, the team played solid. They got a little bit of a pass rush. Finally, Uchenna Nwosu had a couple sacks. Jim, I can't complain too much about it, except, look, Brian, here's the thing that irritates the shit out of me. A call like that, completely unnecessary, didn't really materially affect the play. I'm watching that, and I told Jim, and I'm sure Jim will have something to say about it. They only did that to keep a national TV game, the only game on Thursday night, competitive, so people wouldn't tune out in the fourth quarter. That's the reason they called that touchdown back. And that kind of shit just has to stop in the NFL. It really does. Because that's why they made that call, was to make sure the game didn't get out of hand.
Well, Jim, that is exactly where I was going with that, Mike. Wondering, you're our gambling guy. You give us the betting trends of the week. Do you think that was exactly as it was described there by Mike, that call was a bunch of BS and it was meant to either mess with the line or mess with the interest in the rest of that game, in your opinion?
Yeah, Mike is, I think, 98% right on his assessment of how the game went. Just to add on to that, I mean, this game was on Amazon Prime. All right, those of us that don't have Amazon Prime actually had to pay to watch this football game. Fortunately, Regina's got Amazon Prime, so Michael and David Bara, danced their happy ass over to my house, and Regina made pizza with no pineapple, and everything was fine.
You're just mad because she made pizza for us.
But Mike is understating about how upset he got. I mean, Mike was screaming so loud he shattered the Tiffany crystal, up on the.
I scared the dog. I scared Lucy the dog. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but it was 100% Seahawks in the first half, and then there was a bad call, and our good buddy Jackson Smith-Njigba got caught on an open mic walking next to the zebra, and the glaring look that he got after he passed the zebra, I looked over at Mike, I looked to my left, and I said, Mike, this ain't good. This game's going to start spiraling. It's going to be the Seahawks' first Super Bowl after, when they played the Steelers. That's what it's going to look like.
Yep.
And it was, and we were. I looked at Mike and I said, "This game's going to overtime."
Yep. Yeah, and you were right. And again, it's all manipulated by the officiating, which that's kind of shit just has to stop. And it doesn't just happen in our games; it happens in all kinds of other games too. There's 2 or 3 incidents like that, and it's just it was done to keep the game from getting out of hand. 24-6, everybody tunes out, game's over.
100%. Yeah,
and
the game was the game all of a sudden became watchable at the end of the third quarter.
Right.
But I won and I got money, so I
got the twofer.
Don't care.
And a pizza and Amazon Prime. I mean,
Regina's pizza. Regina Mitchell's pizza, by the way, is again the best pizza you will ever have in your life.
And by the way, that is such a great name for a real pizza joint. Regina's Pizza. It flows. It's got a nice sound to it. Izzy, there was another crazy game. Your favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. Man, look, I am on the record. Stop it with the stupid ties. Go to a field goal kicking competition, move it back 5 yards, and until somebody misses, somebody makes it. Call it a day. If you don't want to burn your players out and get injured, fine. You play one overtime round, fine. I get it. But turn it into a kicking contest. Izzy, you guys tied the Green Bay Packers 40-40 in the Micah Parsons rematch. What did you make of this one?
Man, I don't know. It's just a wild year to be a Cowboys fan. It seems like every game's just no defense involved. One stat I'll throw out there is we have the highest ranked offense yards per game, number one, and we have the worst ranked defense yards per game, number 32. So kind of an idea how the season's going. The game though, it was a great game. Like the Packers and not the Packers, the Giants and Cowboys game 2 weeks ago. 40-40, very interesting. Dak Prescott played a hell of a game. Without CeeDee Lamb, 2 offensive linemen out, I'm surprised he played this good. And our defense is just atrocious. Like I said, Matt Eberflus, he needs to we need to either fire him or simplify the defense down. Our DBs seem to get fried at almost every play. I mean, we went up against the top 3 ranked defense in the Packers this week. Micah Parsons, when you have him on the field, statistically, you have a top 5 defense. And we ended up scoring 40 points against them. And there's really no world where we score 40 points and we should be ending in a tie, no less almost a loss. So it's what I've seen throughout the past 4 weeks from the Cowboys is our defense is atrocious no matter what, but as long as we have Dak Prescott, he's going to keep the game competitive. And in my opinion, he's a top 5 quarterback regular season. Of course, he has to shine in the playoffs, but I mean, a wonderful game from both quarterbacks and a wonderful game from George Pickens as well. He showed that he could step up as a wide receiver 1, which he's trying to prove this year because it's his contract year. And luckily, Jerry Jones said they're looking to re-sign him and Brandon Aubrey. So that's great.
And so George Pickens, 8 receptions, 134 yards on the day, 2 touchdowns. On the other side, Romeo Doubs with 3 touchdowns on 6 targets. Mike, I think you put your hand up.
Oh, I was just going to try to restream, but yeah, marvelous game by both quarterbacks. Really, I like 2 boxers, big heavyweight boxers, Ollie and Frazier or something, or Bo and Riddick Bowe and Vander Holyfield, just punching the hell out of each other, back and forth. And the Cowboys did play really well. They were down 13-0. Looked like the game was not even going to be close. And then they got play after play. They got the blocked punt or an extra point return for 2 points, and just a lot of great plays. One. Exciting game, fun game to watch. Shame it ended in a tie. It's funny because I think like in soccer, in professional soccer, it's exactly the opposite. What they should do is allow unlimited substitutions and require a goal to be scored in open play to win a soccer match. Exactly the opposite. No penalty kicks, none of this BS. Just make all the subs you want and play until somebody scores. It's sudden death. None of this, we scored a goal in extra time, but we still have another 15 minutes to play. Bullshit. First team to score in open play wins. That's what they should do in soccer. In football, I'm with you. They should just keep playing until somebody scores.
And I'm not a big soccer fan, but I look at soccer going, if they can have a shootout, you can have a kickoff, you can have a kick out.
Yeah, but I don't want a kicking contest to decide NFL football games. I really want somebody to score an open play. And look, if it was the playoffs, it would have gone on. But
playoffs.
I mean, a part of this too is you remember the Cardinals Seahawks game in 2017 where Cam Chancellor career ended with in overtime. His career ended with a pinched nerve in his neck, disc issue. Richard Sherman tore his Achilles in that game. That was a game that just went on and on and on. And I think that's why they changed the rule back then. So you don't like ties, but that game, I don't know. After each team has one possession, I liked it where the next team that scores wins. You gotta stop. If you're on defense, you got to stop them. If you're on offense, you got to score.
Gotcha. Thought from you, Jim.
Yeah, this game in the sportsbook, this game opened at 6.5, and it pretty much closed at 6.5 also, favoring the Packers, which means statistically, which means there was an even amount of money on both sides of this game. The over-under, of course, went way over. I mean, the over-under on this was 80. If you had the over, I mean, you were cashing checks all day. But I thought the Cowboys outplayed the Packers in this game. I think they had a better game. in this game. And even though the Packers going into this game were 5-0 straight up against the Cowboys, now they're 5-0-1 and 7-2 against the spread versus the Cowboys. So Cowboys covered the spread comfortably in this game. I mean, when it went to overtime, you were assured to win because the most they're going to score is 6 points in an overtime. And realistically, the way these games are decided in overtime games is 3 points. So going into overtime, you're doing this and you're putting the key in the ignition and getting ready to, drive down to the casino to cash your ticket like Mike did, at the end.
Right. Well, here's the best part. Get this. Dave Bara says, "Oh, I want to bet this game." And I said, "Great. So what does he do all afternoon?" He sleeps like he always does. Takes a fucking nap, right? So I go to the casino and I take $200 out of my bank account and I put $200 on the Seahawks, right? And I'm like, okay, fine. And then when it's over, he gets mad at me when I go collect the money because I kept all the money. I'm like, dude, you literally didn't bet any money. It's literally all my money. He wanted me to give him half the winnings. I'm like, Dave, if you're watching, you're nuts, okay? It was all my money. Bet your own money. What is wrong with people?
Dios míos. Brothers, I tell you. Brothers. Marion said she had a few Cowboys on her fantasy league. Finally got her first win. Congrats. And she hated
Me too.
tie.
Me too.
Congrats to you. Yeah, I was 0 for 4 in my fantasy league. We're not going to talk about that. But Mike, you mentioned that it felt like a punch out, like it was like a prize fight.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 86 yards on the day, 85 yards for Javonte Williams and a touchdown. It was almost identical. Jordan Love was 31 of 43 for 337, 3 touchdowns, no mistakes. Prescott, 31 of 40, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, no mistakes. Across the board, it was almost like 2 equal teams playing each other. And not surprisingly, you got a result that felt like you had 2 even teams. And that's what we got in that one. A tie. We'll see how that has playoff implications potentially as the season moves on.
No, Micah neither. Micah. Didn't do anything. I said Micah Parsons didn't do anything either.
And the conversation now is
he had a sack. Yeah, technically he had a sack, but I don't really see that as a sack. I think he was chasing Dak down from behind.
Yeah. So now the question is, did Jerry Jones win that trade? It's way too early to tell, but Jerry got a haul. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, look, he got a starter who's playing. What is it? Kenny Clark's playing.
He's playing great.
Cowboys playing really well. 2 first-round picks for a guy who was discontented.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how. And he got cap space. He got loads of cap space, which he's already spent on other guys. Yeah. So I think this is a trade that's going to work out in the end for both teams because I think the Packers are going to be happy with Micah Parsons when he gets fully healthy, which may not be till next year. And I think the Cowboys are probably going to be happy if they draft well with those 2 picks.
Statistically, we're good at drafting. So in the first round.
Yeah.
Well, the Browns needed to make a trade after this game because our tackle play has been atrocious. It was on full display in this game. The Cleveland Browns had a really good first half with defense, but man, they took care of business in the second half. The Lions whooped on the Browns 34-10, but a lot of the Lions scoring, if we're going to be honest about it, a lot of it came on very short field situations. The Browns can't be expected to hold everybody to nothing the entire game. They're getting almost no help from their offense. Joe Flacco on the season now has 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. It's really not sustainable. But however, if you watch the game like I did and followed what was happening, the players are dropping passes. Jerry Jeudy, they're bouncing off of his hands. The people are missing passes. The tackles are not giving him a lot of time. You can't blame Joe Flacco for everything. But on the flip side, there's almost no mobility left in the man. Mm-hmm. The rumors are now that maybe Dylan Gabriel even gets the start Thursday over in London. We'll see if it goes that far.
Yeah, I think that's true. I saw a lot of reports this morning that he'll be starting next week.
It is possible. Mike's nodding your head.
Yeah. Well, I think that would be the smart thing to do. Because look, Flacco, what did he have? His passer rating was 39.3.
Yeah.
He had no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I get it. Jerry Jeudy, I don't think he's Russell Wilson's favorite guy either from his time in Denver. But it's time to start the new quarterback. And whether it's Shadur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel, let them start who they want. But, you got these 2 young guys on the roster. You may as well try him. You may as well.
You got to see what you have, because if we're going to be one of the top picks next year, also having 2 first-round picks, so if we're sitting at 5 or 4, maybe we could trade a couple prospects and move up and get the number 1 pick or the number 2 pick and get our guy. We need to see who we have. Quinshon Judkins looks legit, 82 yards and a touchdown on the day, but really not getting a lot. They put Dylan Gabriel in right at the end. He will get the start when they do finally make the move. The guy played 5 or 6 years in college. Shador played on a janky team and a janky system for 1 year. You know, he's not ready. He's a developmental guy. Maybe he'll get his chance this year. Who knows? But the Browns are struggling. The interesting part about the Browns is that the rest of the division is trash. Joe Burrow's out maybe for the season. We'll see how that happens, how that plays out. Lamar Jackson is out for 2 to 3 weeks. They're 1-3. Steelers are the cream of the crop, and they're a beatable team. So who knows? Anybody can go on a run. Take it from my Cleveland Indians. You can win 22 out of 25 and make the playoffs. This was a tough game. Jared Goff, 2 touchdowns on the day. 2 of those going to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jahmyr Gibbs punches it in for a touchdown. It was a regrettable game, a sad, pathetic game. Let's go to the
Jim, you had something you wanted to add, right?
Oh,
Jim?
thank you. I was not looking. If your hand was up, my apologies, Jim. Take it away.
You weren't looking, Brian. I don't know if you mentioned it, but I saw last night DeAndre Carter is out coming up this week, and so is Cedric Tillman. He will be out.
Oh, what is Tillman's? I didn't catch the Tillman injury.
I think it's I think they said it was a hamstring.
Okay. Well, we got Isaiah Bond now. He was the guy from Texas that had a potential accusation that got cleared up, and nothing came of it. A lot of allegations, a lot of accusations. It happened to Quinshon Judkins. It happened to Trevor Bauer. Just being accused of something doesn't mean you did anything, and that's why we have a court system. But Isaiah Bond is that wide receiver we brought in. Could have been a 2nd-round pick, and we kind of got him as a free agent. It was a pretty good signing for us. So I guess he's probably going to step into that role. I didn't know that he was out, but
Isaiah Bond.
Isaiah Bond.
You know what? Do you think? All right, there's a great question. Do you think that we could petition the NFL to make Isaiah Bond's jersey number 007?
Yeah, no, this is not going to happen.
That would be incredible.
No league ever lets players named Bond do that. They've tried it before.
That's right. It's the no fun league. I suppose you're right.
Well, there was a guy in the old American Soccer League decades ago named Kevin Bond, and they wanted to do 007, and they wouldn't let him do it.
Bond, Kevin Bond.
Not going to happen.
All right,
be better too.
Fair. No, that's true. Maybe if he can develop it, but if they're going to England, international man of intrigue and espionage, perhaps. I mean, it's a great way to launch the Bond career. All right, Steelers get the win here over the struggling Vikings, 24-21. This was Carson Wentz versus Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what to say about this one. Who has thoughts on this game? Any hands?
Well, the Aaron Rodgers revenge tour continues. You didn't sign me. Okay, I'm going to fucking beat you. That's what he did with the Jets. He just did it with the Vikings. Honestly, watch this game. It wasn't really that close a game. Vikings kind of got some garbage time to make it look closer, put a little more pressure on the Steelers, but they pretty solidly had it. And, I do think that Rodgers is a little bit on a revenge tear here. Mm-hmm. The Vikings woulda, coulda, shoulda signed him. And just think about how much better off they'd be if they did. Yeah. They're 2-2, but Rodgers is better than JJ McCarthy, and he's sure as hell better than Carson Wentz. The only thing I hear about it, and he would definitely be able to get the ball to guys like Justin Jefferson and Addison, and he'd be good for them. And I think he's pissed that they, I think he's really smug and enjoying his wins over these teams that could have had him and didn't want him. So. The one thing I did hear JJ McCarthy will practice this week, but I don't think he will be playing this week, but he may play next week. But my response to that is, so what?
Well, Aaron Rodgers wasn't totally garbage last year. He was on a very terrible team. He does have a little bit left in the tank. I mean, but look, the Steelers are doing what they normally do. Your boy DK Metcalf, 5 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown with a long of 80.
That was a big touchdown, yeah.
That was a huge home run hit, and that's what you want when you sign a guy like that. And by the way, shout out to Kenneth Gainwell, who I had to plug in an emergency situation at running back. 2 touchdowns, 99 yards on the day. So kudos to him. Izzy, Jim, any thoughts on this game, or are we moving? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, well, I retract what I said last week. I think and Izzy will agree with this. I think the Carson Wentz interview is pretty much over. They pretty much needed to win that game, and then they could consider whether or not they want to stick with Wentz. But I think as soon as McCarthy is healthy enough, I think he comes back in the game.
And you might be right about that. Well, here's another team that has a quarterback that might be injured. We're trying to figure out what's going on with this little guy, Jaden Daniels. We have Washington and Atlanta. Atlanta gets the win, a desperately needed win. Both teams are now 2-2 on the season. Michael Penix Jr. Threw for 313 yards, a quarterback rating of 126, 2 touchdowns, and 1 mistake on the day. Robinson and Algier rushing in for touchdowns. Drake London and Kyle Pitts catching them. And Marcus Mariota didn't quite have enough in the tank to get it done. Fellas, who has a thought on this game? Hand, anyone?
I do. Actually.
Mike.
Well, I'm going to always have something to say about my guy.
Michael Penix?
Again, Michael Penix Jr. Again, look, he had a huge comeback for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Falcons are very good, but huge comeback for Penix. Played a much better game after that disaster game against Carolina. And the thing about it is he just makes some throws that I don't think anybody else in this league can make. There was a cross shot. And I mean, about 25 or 30 yards downfield, just an absolute rocket off of his left shoulder with a defender like right in the path. And he just threw it so hard, the defender couldn't get there to get in the way. And it's like, I don't even see other quarterbacks even attempt throws like that. So the exceptionalism of his arm, I continue to see it. I continue to look for it. And you got to give the Redskins, the Commanders, whatever they are, a lot of credit for hanging in that game without Jaden Daniels. And hopefully he gets back soon because he was so spectacular last year. But Mariota played well. Falcons were just a little bit better. But Penix, man, you watch his highlights. He makes throws I don't see other players even attempting, including guys like Mahomes and Josh Allen. That one pass at this angle was just like, I'm like, wow, that was phenomenal. So good for him. And glad to see my guy continuing to develop there, coming back from last week.
And he played at Indiana, right? He was the quarterback at Indiana. Where was he at?
Yeah, he was Indiana, and then he went to Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a series of injuries, which is, one of the issues with him in the draft, but he ended up going 8th anyway. So.
Yeah, because I saw Indiana's doing well again this year. They're not a traditional college football powerhouse, but they're putting together a nice string of solid teams. Jim or Izzy, any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, the Redskins opened at 2.5, and it was pretty much 2.5 all the way to the end of the week, which means there was even money on both sides of this. The total went way over. I mean, the total opened at 45.5 and was bet down to 43.5. But there was no sweat if you had the over on this. I mean, the over went to 61, so you were comfortable there. This was pretty much a corner football game for me and Mike. I don't think we played this game.
Gotcha. Izzy, any thoughts, or are we moving on?
No, not really.
Okay. Bills, Saints. Bills took care of business 31-19. Josh Allen, 2 touchdowns on the day. On the ground, James Cook and Josh Allen punched it in. In the air, Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid got it done on their side. Olave brought in a touchdown. And Kendry Miller on the ground for the Saints. Mike, that's your boy, Spencer Rattler. They're 0-4.
The only comment is I'll continue to stand by Spencer Rattler as a guy who has a future in this league. I thought he hangs tough considering that he doesn't have much to work with and played a pretty solid game. He's not the reason the Saints lost. So good for him. He's starting to look a bit more like a professional quarterback. And I think he has a future, at least as a solid backup in this league and a sometimes starter, a Marcus Mariota type. So, and who knows what the upside might be if he gets some good players around him. So, that's what I take away from that. Other than that, Bills are the Bills. They're better. They played better. They won at home. What else can you say?
Izzy, Jim, any thoughts on this? Jim has his hand up. Yes, sir.
Yeah, now Spencer Rattler is 0-10 as a starter. Straight up. So, what Mike said about being a solid clipboard carrier, that's probably going to be the flavor of the day. But Mike was talking about betting this game and laying it opened at 16.5 and we bet at 15.5. And needless to say, the Bills did not cover in this game. And I hope Mike didn't bet it, but he didn't tell me.
I did not.
Good.
I only bet one game, and that was the Thursday game. So Seahawks game. Yeah.
Good.
Izzy.
Go ahead.
The Saints are officially not the worst team in the NFL right now. So
they're tied with a goose egg at the beginning. Izzy, do you think the Bills are going to be undefeated longer than the Saints are winless?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I agree, though. Spencer Rattler, I mean, he's serviceable. I mean, he's doing his hardest with what he's got, and it's showing. So you could feel for him. But, yeah, he'll probably be a backup. But, yeah, a little bit of what would he do with more weapons, better team around him? Well, what would that look like? So it's just bad luck.
To a certain degree, I know Flacco's not getting it done, but our offensive line is such a mess in Cleveland. Our receivers are dropping the passes. It's not all Joe's fault either. But at the end of the day, it's a results-driven league. Either you're part of the winning formula or you're part of the problem, and it just is what it is. Yeah, I don't think Rattler is the entire problem by any stretch, but 0-4, I'm struggling to figure out where they're going to get their wins this season. Another team struggling to get wins, Carolina Panthers. They dropped this one to the New England Patriots. Patriots improved to 2-2 on the year. Patriots win 42-13. Drake May, 2 touchdowns on the day. Travion Henderson getting a few more touches, not as many as I would like, but they took care of business, Mike. Patriots got the win easily.
Yeah, back to reality for Carolina. That Atlanta game was a 1-game fluke at home. Patriots are not that good and walked all over them. Somebody posted, I think it was on Twitter X, that the Panthers got outscored 55-13 the first 2 weeks. Then 32-0 outscored the opponent the third week, and then got outscored 42-13. I mean, it's like they're like Jekyll and Hyde and really inconsistent. And, I mean, Bryce Young, just every time you start to believe in Bryce Young, he comes along and has a game like this where you just kind of wonder what he's doing. He got decisively outplayed by Drake May in that game, and Drake May's not that good. So, nothing else to say about it except, the Panthers, if I was them, I'd be looking for another quarterback at the top of the draft this year.
Yeah, they might be. They're tied with the Browns with a 1-3 record. Jim, what say you?
Yeah, the glaring stat on this game, I mean, if the Panthers are on the road and you want to cash a ticket, take the other side. I mean, it's the Panthers are now 2-17-1 straight up on the road. So that's a glaring statistic right there. And this was one of my favorite games of the week, was going ahead and taking our friend Ramondre Stevenson and the Patriots. But this worked out, and it worked out as planned as far as the Panthers losing the game. They not only lost the game, they lost the game big, and that's what we look for.
Facts. Izzy, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, probably just Bryce Young's not the quarterback for this team. He's just too small to make it. That's my opinion. Like I said before, if you're going to be that small, at least be Kyle Murray kind of fast. So,
gotcha. Well, here's another one. They got a fresh quarterback in New York, and look at this. I did not have this on my board. I got rocked in my projections this week. I took the Chargers. I did not see this coming. The New York Football Giants, Mike, got this win. Jackson Dart did enough to get the win there. He had a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, and they played better than Justin Herbert and the Lightning Bolts. I did not see this one coming.
Okay, well, the passing touchdown was a shovel pass, which is essentially a forward handoff. So give me a fucking break. It's not a real touchdown pass. And I think
wait till we
shovel
get to the Eagles game. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah,
Dallas got it. That's right.
shovel passes should not count as touchdown passes. If it's not an overhand pass, it shouldn't be counted as a touchdown pass. And we should go back historically and look at every game and take away every shovel pass, which means that Peyton Manning did not throw 50 touchdown passes in that one game. Because remember that he set the NFL record with a fucking shovel pass. Anyway, again, this was a surprising game because Chargers they got banged up again. John Alt was their second left tackle. Their backup left tackle. He was supposed to be their right tackle. He came in for the other guy who got hurt in training camp. Then he went out in the first quarter. They couldn't block anybody. Justin Herbert, when doesn't have ideal conditions, Justin Herbert's just not that good. And that's kind of what we were looking at in this game. They couldn't really generate much offense. The Giants were at home. They played well enough to win. That's about all you can say about it. I do think I came away not really impressed with Jackson Dart. He made some plays because of his legs, and he's 22, and he's going to do that again. But they got a game in New Orleans this weekend. They probably will win that one. Everybody's going to get, Jackson Dart. They got rid of Russell. They won 2 in a row with Jackson Dart. Well, I don't know. With Malik Neighbors getting hurt, terrible injury. You better enjoy these next two, this last week and this week, Giants fans, because I don't think you're going to have a lot more to cheer about the rest of the year.
That is exactly what I was going to say there. Torn ACL, a couple of really grotesque knee injuries, including DeJuan Jones. The NFL needs to do a little bit more to protect the knees of their players. Some of these are freak accidents. But yeah, Malik Neighbors out for the season, is he?
Was that a home game? Yeah. That stadium, they got to fix that stadium. It's a lot of non-contact injuries that happen at that stadium, and it's just something with the floor. I don't know what happens there, but the most injuries come from there, non-contact at least.
Well, I know what it is. It's they're tripping over Jimmy Hoffa, right, Mike?
Yeah, different.
That's got to be in one of your books, isn't it?
Different stadium.
They got to get in. They got to get in the end zone to trip over Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa. Oh yeah, that game disappointed.
But yeah, this game, I don't know. The Chargers beat themselves up. Like I said, Jackson Dart, he didn't look that impressive besides his legs. And the Chargers, they have more opportunities. They could put more points on the board. I'll put it that way. And no Malik Neighbors, Jackson Dart's not going to look any better next week as he did this week.
And remember, Najee Harris is out for the season. He's on IR as well.
That's whatever. I got Amari Hampton on my team.
Yeah, I got Najee Harris. This is why I had to
I got Malik Neighbors as well, unfortunately, but I mean, it's whatever.
It's brutal. Jim, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, well, in all honesty, Mike and I can talk about our one team straight bet on Thursday night. We both cashed. We both had the Seahawks. We gave up the 1.5. But this game killed my 5-teamer. When I lose a big ticket, I'll talk about it. This game did not go as scripted. The Chargers went into this game 8-0 straight up versus teams with a losing record. Harbaugh was 8-2 straight up and 7-3 against the spread versus rookie quarterbacks. And Harbaugh was 4-0 straight up and 4-0 against the spread versus rookie quarterbacks as the Chargers coach. And favorites of 6.5 points or more were 17-2 straight up going into this game. So this screamed Chargers, but I'll tell you what, the Dart had a good game and the Dart looked good.
The Dart did it. Dart did it. For the Giants. Yeah, I see what you're saying, that they can get their win next week, and it might be a little bit of fool's gold. We'll see how it plays out, but I don't know. As a Browns fan, we're always going to be charting Jackson Dart. We didn't really have a chance to go get the kid in Tennessee. Cam Ward, but Jackson was there. We could have gone Jackson Dart, and we passed on him. So we're always going to keep our eye peeled. How's he doing? Did we make the right move? Should we have picked him up? Time will tell. Let's talk about this one. This is Eagles. Izzy, you started talking about it. We'll let you start this one. Eagles pulled this one out against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I, being a Cleveland fan, root for Baker Mayfield. I think he got a raw deal in Cleveland. Mike agrees. And, you can't go 4 games in a row where you're asking your quarterback to make last-minute game-winning drives to try to salvage a win out of the jaws of defeat. But this is the time it finally failed, Izzy. The Eagles in your division were able to pull it out and knock down my Buccaneers.
The Eagles ranks this season so far, total offense 30th, total defense 22nd, win percentage tied for first. The Eagles, somehow I didn't watch the game. Of course, I didn't watch the game, but 31-25. Yeah, I mean, it's a good game on paper, but it's I don't understand how they keep winning. I'm not trying to hate at all, but Jalen Hurts, he had a okay game. Those 2 passing touchdowns or shovel passes from like the 5-yard line. And then to add on top of that, in the second half, he went 0 for 8, 0 passing yards, 0 completions, 0 touchdowns. And they still somehow won the game. And I was watching First Take the other day, and Michael Irvin put it that A.J. Brown was complaining. And it gets to the point where once they lose that game, then it's, A.J. Brown can finally say, I told you so. Look what more we could have done. So, it's just mediocrity from probably head coach and play calling, and also quarterback play. And, in my opinion, Jalen Hurts is in the top 10 quarterback. I still label him as a fullback that plays quarterback. But, I mean, they're undefeated. You can't take that away from them, but I just don't understand how they're winning games by the way they're playing. So that's my input.
Pedigree, and they're kind of they are the champs. They are.
So
somehow
that's the way I put it.
Dude, what are you bubbling up over there with AJ Brown and the discontent and just all of it in general?
Well, AJ Brown's asked for a trade, so he wants out. I think it's just that in the current offense, the way it's set up, Jalen Hurts can't get him the ball. I don't know why that's more important than winning. You got paid. You've been paid. You're going to be paid. Why is that more important? Why don't you just go out and win games? And so you only get a couple receptions and 7 attempts or something like that. Okay, you're winning football games, man. You won a Super Bowl last year. You get to win another one. And okay, you don't like the coach, you don't like the coordinator. What are you trying to do? Play for another contract? I mean, he's got a good contract. I could look it up, but he's going to get paid. He's going to win football games. It seems like he's creating. There's always some dickbag who on a successful team is creating problems because he's selfish. And it's like, dude, sit back, relax. You're not going to make any more money anywhere else.
I can completely agree with you that winning is 100% the number one matter in football, in any sport. I completely agree. But like I said, Michael Irvin put it a good way, is that once they lose that first game, then it's like the whole team's going to crumble from that one player. And players wanting the ball, they're going to be like, oh, we could have won if I got the ball, if this happened, if that happened. Mm-hmm. And it's just a matter of time until that happens. But they're winning. But like I say, it's just a matter of time until that happens, and the whole team.
I mean, AJ, just if you want to play more, if you want to be more involved in the offense, all that, great. But wait till next year. Just play the season out. You got a shot to win another Super Bowl. That's what I do. I don't get why he has to make a big deal out of this right now.
It's a look at me thing.
It's what?
It's a look at me thing.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, just have fun. You don't get very many windows like this where Seattle had our 2-year run at the Super Bowl, should have won both of them. You don't get runs like that very often. Just enjoy it and don't be selfish. And you're not going to get paid anymore anywhere else. So just go with it. So
in the terms there that I looked up, according to Grok, 3 years, $96 million, and the average annual value was $32 million, which was the highest for receivers at the time of signing.
Yeah. So he's. Let me go to the cap calculator here for the Eagles.
Go to the cap calculator and let me bounce to Jim. Did you have a thought on this one?
Other than Other than the fact this game opened at 3.5, it remained 3.5 pretty much the whole week. Which again, even money bet on both sides. The Buccaneers were 4-1 straight up against the Eagles going into this game, and I didn't play this game. I don't think Mike played the game either. But
No.
this was a game to watch. But the Eagles, just to add on, I mean, the Eagles, I think are they may not be great in any specific area, but they are a very complete team. I don't think they're weak in any area, and that's going to keep you in every football game that you play.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would add in this game. I did actually watch this one. Emeka Egbuka and Bucky Irving, long touchdown passes of 77 and 72 yards. On broken plays, Baker is so good at just finding people rolling out, making something out of nothing. Just there's almost nobody better in the league at doing that, but it wasn't enough in this game. Mike, you looked up the.
Yeah. By the way, I just checked his contract. He's only going to earn about 1.5, not even 1.5, about $1.2 million this year in salary. Everything else is already paid in bonuses. So that's why he's making a stink now. If he moves somewhere else, he can get a new contract with more money this year. I understand that now better. But the cap hit, the dead cap hit, puts the Eagles over the cap if they trade him or if they cut him. So he's not going anywhere. So they're not going to do that. So it's not going to happen. And the other thing about this game too that's important is the Buccaneers are very beat up. There was a lot of injuries in that game. They took a lot more injuries, and it's probably going to affect my pick for this weekend's game against the Seahawks. So.
Yeah, and Mike Evans being out, Godwin coming back, but I mean their offensive line, they're missing 3 starters. It's they're gutting out some of these wins, but you just can't keep asking Baker to pull rabbits out of hats and expect to be successful in the league. It's unfair.
Same thing with Dak.
Same thing with Dak. There you go. All right. Well, hey, let's go to this one. Houston Texans, they improved to 1-3, getting their first win of the year. CJ Stroud played fairly well, 22 of 28, 233 with 2 touchdowns, no stupid mistakes. Woody Marks looking good, touchdown on the day, and at 1 on the ground, 1 in the air, and Jaden Higgins catching another one. Cam Ward, no touchdowns, an interception on the day. Tennessee drops to 0-4. Mike? Anyone who wants to talk about this?
An awful game. I watched bits of it on Red Zone. Just terrible game. 2 terrible teams. I continue to not know what the problem is with CJ Stroud, but terrible game, terrible teams. Neither one of these teams is going anywhere. I actually, on my way on Sunday morning, I drove right past the old stadium and the new stadium in Nashville for the Titans. And it's like, man, you got to make a lot of improvements if you're going to get at that stadium anywhere near field, because they're awful. Just wow, just awful. Just nothing to say about it.
Yeah, and you just wonder if Cam Ward is the guy, or just can you even evaluate him based on the team being so bad?
You can't evaluate that. You don't have enough talent around him to even be competitive.
I can see that. And I'm a Buckeye fan, so I'm pulling for CJ Stroud. I'm a Browns fan. I'm pulling for Nick Chubb. I mean, just the Texans have not been great for the past couple of years. Jim, any thoughts on this? Izzy, any thoughts?
Yeah, the Titans were going into this game were 4-1 straight up versus the Texans in Houston, but they are not the squad, nor do they have the coach that they used to have. And I agree with Mike. I think the Titans are now the worst team in the league, and they just passed the Saints, for that crown. But I'm sure we'll get to the game picks. But interestingly enough, Houston shut out the Titans and 2 bad football teams. 26-0. They shut the Titans out. The Titans are a favorite against the Ravens this week.
Titans are a favorite against the Ravens. Well, Ravens have their backup quarterback, of course, but wow, that doesn't even sound right.
The Titans are favored in that game at Baltimore.
Okay, all right. I don't even waste my.
I'm gonna go bet that game. I'm taking the Ravens.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of gambling, but that one is almost tempting me just on inertia alone.
That's the drive up to the Suncoast.
That's what I'm thinking. Izzy is off screen, so we'll skip over to this one. Rams Colts, 2 3-1 teams. The Rams improved to 3-1. The formerly undefeated Colts drop in this one. Daniel Jones looked mortal, had 2 interceptions on the day here. Tyler Warren had a rushing touchdown of all things. Pittman had a receiving touchdown as well. And then for the Rams, the 88-yard Tutu Atwell touchdown. That was a backbreaker. And Puka Nacua, man, is he stepping in. 13 receptions, 170 yards, and a touchdown on the day. Devontae Adams caught another one. Mike, the Rams.
This should have been a loss for the Rams. I fucking hate the Rams. They always win. They always win 1 or 2 fucking games that they don't deserve to win. They didn't deserve to win this game. Adonai Mitchell gave this game away. He literally he's dancing, with the ball. I mean, come on. It's just stupid. I don't even want to know what to say about how being that fucking stupid.
I had a parlay in for Adonai Mitchell touchdown, and I woke up to that.
Oh my God.
And then luckily another slip, I took his yards, he hit, but I had a touchdown for him, and that would have hit. And then I saw that.
And then he got a holding penalty on Jonathan Taylor's 65-yard game-winning run, which was fucking fantastic.
That was an amazing pinball wizard run. He's spinning and bouncing.
An extremely marginal call that probably didn't even need to be called. Bails the Rams out. I don't know that it was I'm not going to say that it was fixed to make sure the Rams won the game or anything, but that call was completely unnecessary. It was unnecessary. A touchdown, give him the touchdown run. But Adonai Mitchell is the ultimate GOAT on this. Literally, you don't fuck around with the ball until you're across the goal line, Adonai. Okay, they teach you that when you're 9 years old or 8 years old and you start playing football.
Leon Lett, it's the Leon Lett rule. We know better. We don't
exact. Well, but no, most kids these days don't know who the fuck Leon Lett is, right?
Yeah, we got to test this theory. Ez'Ryel Robinson, do you know who Leon Lett is?
Nope.
You're a Cowboy fan. You
Dallas Cowboy.
Not one of
I'm probably too young. I don't know.
Not one of the smartest Dallas Cowboys of all time. Let's put it.
He was going in with a touchdown and he put the ball out and
then the Tutu Atwell touchdown, just a complete coverage breakdown on the next play. It's like an 18, 20-yard pass turns into an 80-yarder for a touchdown. Just pure fucking luck on the Rams' part.
It was a snow game too. Leon Lett. Just YouTube Leon Lett in the snow.
Yeah, Izzy, please do that. Look it up.
Yeah,
I would play it if we wouldn't get dinged, lose for a copyright. But
now Leon Lett made a lot of great plays in his career, but he made a couple of not very smart ones. But anyway,
but yeah, my input on the game, like I said, I'm high on the Colts. I expected them to win. I knew it was going to be a close game, but yeah, Adonai Mitchell, he just sold the game for the team. I don't know what happens in the locker room after that, but hey. Puka Nacua, he's amazing. Mm-hmm. My biggest thing about Puka Nacua is he's a 5th round pick. Yes, it could be a hidden gem, but Sean McVay, does he have a system for the wide receivers? Because we saw that Cooper Kupp in this system with Sean McVay, he thrived. He won the Triple Crown. Now Puka Nacua is on pace for 2,000 yards. It's like, does he just find a way to get whoever the receiver is the ball? And it's also a match made in heaven.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a match made in heaven to have Matthew Stafford giving the ball to those playmakers. But yeah, I feel like it's a system for those receivers. Well, but yeah, great game. Regardless of what happened, great game with Puka Nacua. Matthew Stafford played great. Daniel Jones, 2 interceptions, but it's still a winnable game. But a lot of pressure caused by that D line. A test game for Daniel Jones, in my opinion, but wonky game. I would say a great game, but wonky.
Mike and then Jim. Mike, you were trying to follow up
just real quickly. Yeah, McVay knows how to find guys that run routes extremely well that fit his system, and he made Cooper Kupp into a great player. Cooper's not the player that he was anymore. And he replaced him with Puka Nacua. As Cooper Kupp starts to go down and get injured, he gets Nacua and comes along and replaces him in the exact same role, even more effective maybe than Cooper Kupp was at his peak. And he just knows how to find these guys that are so quick in and out of their cuts. And that seems to be what makes a difference. And great coach, but should have lost this game.
And I'll say some of that as well. Like you look at the Cleveland Guardians in the playoffs now, and We traded Shane Bieber at the deadline, and it's just we keep finding a way to get pitchers. They were on a streak of like 25 games that they didn't give up more than 2 runs. That's how we went on that run, not because we were hitting 12 runs a game. It was because our pitching was holding the other team to almost 0. It's almost what the Browns are doing on defense, but we're getting no help from the offense. Jim.
Yeah, Donnie Mitchell. I mean, a long lost relative of mine. I mean, if you
but Jim, can he make a pizza? Can his family? Can his significant other make a great pizza?
Donnie Mitchell McJigba is Jim's cousin.
He can't make the pizza, but if you Izzy, if you just Google Deshaun Jackson, Philadelphia Eagles. Deshaun Jackson is the one.
I've seen that one. I've seen that one.
Initiated this. This is right out of the Deshaun Jackson book. And if you don't learn from anybody else's mistakes, you're not going to get any better. I mean, this was just a total showboat move. The Colts could have went 4-0 in the season.
Huge.
I mean, it was just terrible, as Charles Barkley would say. Terrible.
Terrible. Let me ask you this, guys. Do you? I think you have to bench a guy that does something that stupid.
Yes.
I wouldn't have him in the game. I would have sat him. You would have been out of the game.
The day I become a coach.
If I'm the owner, I might even have fucking cut the guy or at least suspended him for a couple weeks without pay or something. It's like you gotta send a message that you have to know the fucking rules. Look at the Seahawks-Steelers game. Would the Seahawks have beaten the Steelers if that guy realizes that a kickoff is a live football? How do you not know that rule if you're a professional?
Did them next game. They don't play the next game. It's that simple.
Well, to his credit, he stood up and he gave the locker room interview. As uncomfortable as it was, there was a lot of lip rolling in that, and you could tell he was just uncomfortable, and he owned it, but he didn't have really a lot to say about it. All I wanted to hear from him was, "I'm sorry I showboated," because that's exactly what he did, and he cost the team the game.
I got a story to tell you guys. A little homily. My dad was a senior engineer at Boeing, very high up, executive eventually. And there was an engineer that I worked with when I went to Boeing, and I forget his name. It was Jim something, not Jim Mitchell, but something like that. And he was really nice to me. Like I was just a draftsman at the time. I wasn't even a structural engineer yet, and he was super nice to me. And I'm like, Dad, there's this guy, Joe so-and-so or whatever, Jim so-and-so. And I said, God, he's super nice to me all the time. Why is he so nice to me? And he said, well, let me tell you, in like 1962 on the 727 program, he was in charge of some part of the airplane, leading edge slats or something. And he made as a lead engineer, and he made a huge mistake in the design. And it cost the company like $2 million to fix that mistake. And everybody wanted my dad to fire the guy. And my dad said, I'm not firing him because you know what? That guy is never going to make a mistake like that again. And that's why this guy was so nice to me 20 years later or whatever it was. And so I guess you can look at it from that perspective now that I think about it. You got to look at it and say, well, this guy's never going to make a mistake like that again. So maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's I went back to watch it again, and I mean, just it was right there. He just fumbled the bag right through the end. I've seen people drop it before the end zone. I've seen people put the ball out and get it knocked out. Rarely do you see him just kind of like throw it through the end zone like that.
My favorite is the one where the guy tosses it up over his head when he's on the 2-yard line. Yeah. Oh, touchdown. Yeah, you got to go 2 more yards, pal.
My heart yearns for the Barry Sanders days where you take it into the end zone, it's a touchdown, you just hand the ball politely to the referee, and you move back like you act like you've been there before,
Yeah, Walter Payton was good at that too. Yes.
Exactly. Bring some of that professionalism back. Well, look, this game's hurting me. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they improved to 3-1. Why does it matter? I know the Jacksonville Jaguars first-round pick. They're supposed to be 1-3, but somehow they're 3-1. It's making that first-round pick look like shit. And the banged-up 49ers drop this one. 21-26, Jacksonville gets the win. Izzy first.
I had Jacksonville winning. I told a lot of my 49er friends, I was like, Jacksonville is going to win this week. It's finally the 49ers time. Even Mike said it. He said how long can it be with all these injuries that happen, especially losing Nick Bosa last week, until they get their first loss? And I expected it to be this week, and I was right. Brock Purdy had 2 interceptions, bad plays, just one straight to the defensive guy, another one a bobble pass by Christian McCaffrey. But Christian McCaffrey is the backbone of this team, and I think that's been obvious for the past 2 years. No George Kittle, no star receivers besides Ricky Pearsall, mediocre. I mean, who else? He'll put up those numbers if you're going to get him the ball. I mean, he's an NFL wide receiver. But yeah, if you're a team like the 49ers, you shouldn't be losing to the Jaguars, but the Jaguars have pieces enough to beat the 49ers. And yeah, people were calling for Mac Jones to be starting again. It's kind of funny what's happening there. I do believe it's a system quarterback thing with the 49ers. But
yeah, Travis Etienne putting in 124 yards and a touchdown on the day. Him solidifying his running back career there has really helped the Jaguars out, even though you didn't get a lot on the day, only 174 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions from Trevor Lawrence. And you look at Travis Hunter, only 5 targets, 3 completions on the day, but they found a way to get it done, Mike.
Yeah, Travis Hunter needs to get the ball more, but watching Santa Clara lose this game, it was pretty obvious, I think, fairly early on that Jacksonville came to play and was going to give them a game and took it right in their face, and just too many injuries. It's not going to get better. Brock Purdy hurt himself again, and he's kind of like not practicing, and then Mac Jones is also injured. So I think the 49ers have some struggles coming up. This is going to be a tough part of their schedule, and the Jaguars weren't coming in there to lose. They came to win. They came to play. They're not great, but they were good enough to give them a game, and 49ers just couldn't overcome it. So it's good for Jacksonville.
Mr. Mitchell, anything?
Yeah, the Jaguars going into this game were 0-4 straight up against the 49ers. I'll eat this one again. I mean, I went ahead and I took the 49ers on a straight bet, tried to double down after my 3-team parlay tanked. So I'll take the loss on this one also. Mike and I think we had this at the beginning of the season. What Izzy said, I think they probably rushed Purdy back too fast. They probably should have stuck with Mac Jones going ahead and playing. No playoffs for Santa Clara this year.
Playoffs.
Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Just trying to win a game.
Nice. All right. Let's talk about Chiefs beating the Ravens. Are the Ravens this bad, or are the Chiefs turning it around, Izzy?
Like I said, I was very high on the Ravens defense to go into the year. I gave them 2 more shots until week 3. And I just got to give up on it now. I hate giving up on things that I have a good feeling about, but it's just not seeming to work out. They have names. They have people that can make plays, but it's just not happening. It's not clicking. I didn't watch the game, but Lamar Jackson to get hurt seems 2 to 4 weeks he'll be out. And that's a huge hit to this team.
And that's the defense. That's your former boy from.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm happy to see him playing again. I mean, he's a serviceable quarterback. He'll do what he needs to do. But at the end of the day, he is a backup. But also, I don't see him winning any more games with the way their defense is playing, especially with Lamar out. Because
that we can think of the Baltimore Ravens without having a bang up defense, Mike. It's just. I don't even know what to make of this. I've been hoping they were going to suck my entire life since they stole my franchise in 95. But yeah, their defense is finally failing them. I figured like maybe just the
now,
finally in our favor.
Their defense has always been good, but and then one thing about the Chiefs, Xavier Worthy's back. That's a huge addition for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. I don't need to say anymore.
Yeah, I mean, again, we have the Mahomes Andy Reid record in September, and it's starting to come through. They've won 2 in a row now, so they're back to even keel. Baltimore is that terrible. They can't stop anybody on defense. Lamar being out is critical. One of the best players in the league. So I think I like them this week. I think we just talked about that earlier, but regardless, they're not. I don't think they're in it for the long term this year. I really don't. And even Derrick Henry, how many what is he had 2 or 3 fumbles in games this year that have cost him games, or damn near cost him games. So they look bad.
Yeah, Lamar had a lost fumble in this game.
Yeah, they don't look good. So Kansas City's righted the ship, and they're getting healthier, and Baltimore is taking on water and sinking, and they're getting more beat up. So
yeah, the AFC North is winnable. I mean, I know the Browns are 1-3, but our defense is solid. Maybe we get a spark out of a quarterback and we can fight the Steelers. I mean, the Bengals are terrible without Joe Burrow, and Burrow got injured because they're that terrible. Their line is that bad. Kansas City, they didn't just get Xavier Worthy back. I mean, they're getting production from Tyquan Thornton, Isaiah Pacheco, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Hollywood Brown, all catching touchdown receptions on the day, Jim. Anything stand out to you in this one?
Yeah, well, it's like Mike said. I mean, Andy Reid and Mahomes. Andy Reid 27-6 straight up in September. Mahomes is 19-4 straight up in September. Chiefs are 4-1 straight up against the Ravens. Now they're 5-1 straight up against the Ravens. Mahomes 28-12-1 straight up as a favorite of 3 points or less. Chiefs 12-4-1 against the spread as a dog. I mean, this game pretty much screamed Chiefs. Loud stadium. Ravens going in playing a tough team. Lamar's just not good in the moment. He's his broadcasting career is starting to look better here. So just to double down on the injuries. Jackson's out. Roquan Smith is out, and Marlon Humphrey is also out. And it looks like Izzy's old friend Cooper Rush, he's going to be starting the game. So
that's crazy.
I'm happy to see that.
Yeah. And the Ravens are not favored to win that game against the Titans. That's just
whoa. That's
no Texans.
Is it Texans or the Titans? Am I screwing up the next week?
I might have said Titans. It's Texans.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought
Ravens
it was Titans.
Texans. Texans are opened at 1.5, and it is still 1.5. They are 1.5 point favorite.
And I think the Texans are starting to get things stabilized at this point, so they're going to be a different team moving forward, I think. But yeah, if it was the Titans, man, I would have went and put some money on that, and I don't bet a lot. All right, what about this one? The Bears block the field goal at the last second, Mike. This is right in your backyard in Vegas. I know you were in Nashville, but the Bears get it done. And by the way, they did a comparison really quick. They did a comparison side by side, CJ Stroud and Caleb Williams. Yeah. Since they met and played, Caleb's severely outplaying him, which is kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, it is. But, Caleb Williams, again, I saw something the other day. I don't know. He's got his touchdown. I think he's like 28-8 career touchdown to interception ratio, which is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And again, he wears nail polish. He cries to his mom when he loses sometimes.
Is he going to perform with Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl halftime? We didn't even mention that.
Go ahead. Yeah, let's not talk about that. But the thing is that he's good, and he makes phenomenal plays, and he makes occasionally phenomenal throws. And I think and the other thing too is he seems genuinely to be dedicated to getting better and playing the game the right way. And people that want to crucify this guy, look, Chicago, you don't want him. I'll take him in Seattle. Okay. You don't want him. I'll gladly take him. We'll give you Sam Darnold and a couple of firsts for that guy. At least I would if I was the owner. So a guy that just, the yards are the yards there. No, but come on, they will. You just got to keep growing with this guy. And, Geno Smith, again, just being Geno. 3 more interceptions, making really bad decisions, especially under pressure. This is what we've all seen for years. I don't understand the Geno stands. I get ripped on for being a Russ stan, but I don't get the Geno stands. I never have. And it's like, Pete Carroll's already wearing thin out here in the desert. People are already complaining about him. And, Pete's always got to have 2 things. He's always got to have a teacher's pet. He's always got to have a scapegoat. And
Oh.
Jackson Powers Johnson is the scapegoat right now, and Geno Smith is the teacher's pet. And I see the same shit here in Vegas that I saw with Pete Carroll the last 5 years in Seattle. It's not going to end well here.
I got one thing. None of you guys have TikTok, right?
Shit.
I have TikTok, but I don't post very often.
All right. So there's a thing going on with my like Gen Z. So there's these memes called Visual AI, where like say if a player has a bad game, they could cover the like whatever video they want. They could put like say Derrick Henry over the person, and like whatever the person's doing, Derrick Henry will be doing it. And like pretty much if you have a bad game, they put out a video. They'll put out a video of like whoever had a bad game, and now it's like if you see your fantasy player or one of your players from a team that you like on a Visual AI, that means that it's a pretty bad day for you. It's pretty funny videos, I can't lie.
Well, is it funnier than Jim showing you he has the original TikTok?
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah,
the original.
But,
Bravo on that. And by the way, talk about people having a bad day. Talk about someone who had a great day. Your boy, Ashton Janty. He's finally standing up like Michael Myers, 3 touchdowns.
I was 1 week shy of his 100-yard game. 1 week shy. I said it last week he'll do it, but he got it this week. Yeah, Ashton Genty, he's going to be great. Like Mike said, Mike said last week, just keep giving Genty the ball. Even behind that O-line, you got to give him the ball. And Geno needs to go. I don't care what it is.
Good rhyme.
Visual AI MVP of the year, Geno Smith, 3 interceptions, back-to-back games. If I'm not wrong.
Maybe Pete can trade for Russ.
Pete can trade for get him back. I don't know anybody. I saw Jameis in the talk. Somebody get somebody, but Geno Smith is not the answer. And yeah, like you said, the teacher's pet. I don't think Pete Carroll cares. He's going to keep rolling them out there, but I mean, you got to learn. This team could win a lot more games, but yeah, the Bears are looking good. Caleb does want to get better, and that is the kind of NFL player he is. And hopefully, we see him get better. He's one of those passing archetypes where he looks great. So
I feel bad for Max Crosby. I mean, there was talk on the Cowherd show last week that some team might make the Raiders an offer for Max Crosby.
Cowboys, we got the picks
for a couple of first stringers, but I mean they need to do something about quarterback. Whether it's to bring Jamarcus Russell out of retirement, or dig up Daryl and Monica. I mean, one or the other. I mean, it's just bad.
Kenny Stabler.
Guys, they could actually trade Max Crosby. The Raiders could. And
they could.
Save space under the cap. They actually could do that. So, which is weird because he just signed that big, huge contract. But yeah, and Pete Carroll, look, I'm going to tell you something else that you don't want to know about. That's a little edgy here, but Pete Carroll does not like white defensive ends. He doesn't. He's never when he in Seattle, if he had them, if they were on the roster, he got rid of them. All of his defensive ends are always black guys. He looks at them as more athletic or something. So don't be surprised if Max Crosby, if the Raiders are out of it at the trade deadline, Dad, don't be surprised.
Cowboys, cap and capital.
Yep. Good player.
Something to keep our eye on.
And one thing about the Raiders, I feel like they should trade Max Crosby to a team in chalk this season. Get a quarterback to line back up there, and there's some great quarterbacks that they could get, but I say they chalk this season, try to get a top 5 pick. It's not going to work out with Geno or Pete Carroll. So and save Ashton Genty for this year. So
you're saying the Raiders aren't going to the playoffs?
Playoffs?
No.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
You kidding me?
Who's trying to win a game?
Here's 2 teams that might not make the playoffs: the Dolphins and the Jets. Somebody had to win Fiesta. Dolphins get the win, but they lose their star wide receiver for the season. Mike, what did you think of this?
Well, first of all, I'm ashamed, but yes, I watched that game yesterday.
Hey, football's football,
Tyreek Hill, that's a shame. It's a terrible injury. He did apparently have successful surgery, and they do seem to be optimistic he'll be back. next year. This is a guy with a really screwed up life. So, I mean, what does he have? Like 8 or 9 kids or something now? He's paying millions in child support. He's gonna, if he doesn't straighten something out in his life, he's gonna be broke in like 2 to 3 years after he's done playing football, which would be a tragedy given how much money he's made and how great a player he's been. So I'm rooting for Tyreek Hill on a personal level to get everything together. But
Right.
that was a terrible injury, and but apparently it's not as terrible as it looked. They're gonna get him fixed. But the other thing too is that two very terrible teams. I think Mike McDaniel's a horrible coach, and Justin Fields. It's time to just admit he doesn't have any feel for the passing game. He never will. He's had 5 years to pull it together. He just doesn't. And he just can't produce in the passing game. And so it's time for him to move into the backup quarterback spot, the spot guy, the occasional guy, the guy you run a package for, the guy you do the tush push around. He can make plays with his feet, but he's just not effective through the air. And I loved him in 2021. He was my favorite quarterback because of all the big games he played in and played so well. But whatever he is, it just doesn't translate to the NFL level in the passing game. It just
To defend him a little bit, being a Buckeye guy, he was 20 for 27, 226, not mind-blowing, but he had a touchdown, no stupid mistakes. He also rushed 7 times for 81 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, he wasn't the worst. He wasn't the worst, is he? What did you take away from this game?
I watched a little bit of it. I had Garrett Wilson on my fantasy team. Yeah, I mean, like, for the stat watchers, yeah, Justin Fields didn't have a bad game. He can make some better plays, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that. Better reads, better plays. But, yeah, no Tyreek. I saw the injury. It's pretty gruesome. Dislocated knee. He's out for the year. That's a huge hit to the Dolphins if they really want to do anything.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot. I feel like the Jets' offense could be a lot better. They're playing kind of like Madden, where they just hand the ball off, hand the ball off, hand the ball off, running with the quarterback, hand the ball off, pass it, short pass, short pass, short pass. You got to spice up the offense a little bit. I mean, they are playing to their strengths. I can accept that, but yeah, maybe try something different. But yeah, I highly doubt either of these teams are going to make the playoffs, especially with the loss of Tyreek Hill. So. Yeah, I mean, it was an okay game. Kind of a sore to the eyes if you watch it. I would recommend to watch that game.
Jim?
Yeah, the best thing about this game was the Dolphins' black uniforms, for Christ's sake. I mean,
86-degree weather and all the humidity. They couldn't save it till October.
I'm sure that made the team feel a lot better. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, there's nothing like wearing a black uniform and a black helmet. And
well, it's not like it was sunny, though.
And of course, Mike texted me and said, "But it's a night game, Jim."
It is a night game. Come on, wasn't that bad?
Those aren't LED lights, up on the stadium.
That's true.
They're 100,000 candle power, but the Jets are now 1-11 straight up in Miami. This was my second best game to bet.
Nailed it.
I didn't have the guts to pull the trigger, and I could have got even. And after when I sat and watched practically the whole game, and I kicked myself in the ass, saying, "Man, you could have got even this week. Just bet the game, bet the game." The Jets were 0-10 going in this game, and now they're 0-11.
Yeah, outsmarted
just
yourself.
Scream Dolphins. This game screamed Dolphins.
Yep.
Well, you mentioned 0-11, and I wonder if that's what's going to happen to the Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow. They get dropped 28-3, Mike. This thing was an absolute blowout. What did you take away from this? R.J. Harvey, the backup running back, soon to be the starter. He played pretty well, a couple of touchdowns on the day. J.K. Dobbins did all right as well. But, man, what do you make of this?
Look, the Cincinnati Bengals in the Jake Browning era have now scored 3 points and 3 points. Okay. If you want to save your season, go get a quarterback. Don't not some guy on your, look, again, Russ, probably you could go trade for him, somebody else. Now, with that offensive line, I don't like his chances much, but I think at least Russ could get the ball to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and those guys. They got all this money and talent invested in their receivers. Go find a quarterback that can sling the ball. Russ, Kirk Cousins, anybody. Go find them. Go get them. Bring them in, because Jake Browning is the problem in Cincinnati. And there's other problems, but Jake Browning is the problem number one.
Jamar Chase, 23 yards on the day. He's my wide receiver number one in fantasy in 2 different leagues, and he's giving me nothing without Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Nothing. It is brutal to watch, Izzy.
Yeah, Jake Brown. I expect the Broncos to put up more points for what their defense has and what their offense has to offer. But yeah, Jake Brown not going to get it done. I was watching it. It looks how I play Madden. Just chuck the ball up at least 2 times a drive. See if your receivers come down with it. If not, try to check it down. And I don't know what kind of football Jake Brown's playing, but he's not the answer. Yeah, like Mike said, if you want to try to win or at least be competitive, get a new quarterback, because it was hard to watch that game. But Bo Nix had a good game. Questionable interception. Besides that, Cortland Sutton, Bo Nix, the run game looked good. I mean, it is the Bengals defense, but yeah, Jake Browning just he's not it. He's not it. So
I remember Jameis Winston throwing for 500 yards against the Broncos. He's out there. If you wanted to make the trade, he could throw it downfield to
Jameis, Russ, Kirk, literally anybody. That you could go trade for another team's backup. It doesn't matter. Just get anyone but Browning, in my opinion.
But to Mike's point, if the offensive line can't keep him upright, it doesn't matter. It's not really a function of Browning sucking so much as you can't keep him standing upright. And that's been the Joe Burrow situation, made of glass his whole career, because they're not protecting him. They're giving it to position players, and they're not building their offensive line, Jim.
Yeah, the Broncos opened this game 7.5 beginning of the week. It was bought down to 7. And then it got bought back up to 7.5 again, and pretty much ended there. The glaring thing in this particular game, the Bengals are now 2-19 straight up, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night games. So pretty much in prime time, the Bengals are now 2-19 straight up, and that's with Joe Burrow. Burrow or not?
With him.
With him. They're 2-19 straight up.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Not
so
good.
this game just screamed Broncos money line.
Well, yeah, 3 points isn't going to get much of it done. That's for damn sure.
You know, what Mike said about, in the Jake Browning era, scoring 3 points a game. Again,
You got, again, the Brown family, they don't give a shit. They don't want to spend money. But
no, you're right.
But you got to go do something this week. You should have done it today. If you're going to do something, you probably should have been on the phone to the Giants or whoever, or the Falcons to get Kirk Cousins. Whoever you're going to go get somebody. Go get a professional quarterback and give your fans some hope, because you're still 2-2. You could spot this week. You could write off this week and have your new quarterback in place, and you see what you could do with somebody different. It's pathetic. If I was a Bengals fan, I'd be protesting outside team headquarters. Go get a quarterback, because he's not the guy.
Fair point. All right. That is what we had last week. How about this? Maybe I could run through this, Jim, and then tell me what you want to focus on for the picks here. Try this.
Well, we've only got the 11 games and not a whole lot of stuff. So
let's talk about 49ers at Rams. Rams are giving 5.5. Rams are 4-9 straight up versus the Niners. And the favorites of 4 or more points are 22, 3-1 straight up. You feel good about this one, Jim?
Thursday night game, division game. The stat for the Rams last week was that they had a real strong chance of winning that game against the Colts, just based on the fact that Rams played really hard the week before they go into the 49ers, because they take this game very seriously. historically, Mr. Shanahan has owned the Rams. So, well, 4-9 straight up versus the 49ers. That's a pretty big margin. But the 49ers are banged up, and I don't expect the 49ers to win this game or cover the spread. But I'm not crazy about the 5.5. It's a division game.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I won't be playing this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that game. I mean, I think that I actually would take the Rams on the money line, but yeah.
Is he nodding his head as well? Okay. Vikings are giving 3.5 to the Browns. This is going to be the England game. Yeah, I got to get up early. It's going to be 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. You guys are going to have to get up at 6:30 in the morning if you want to watch this game. Good stuff. So Vikings versus the NFC. I'm sorry. The NFC North is 34-21-2 against the spread versus non-division opponents. The Browns are 18-31 against the spread after a loss, which we just had. And for the Browns, teams that play the Lions are then 6-11 straight up and 3-14 against the spread the week after. Jim, that's another one where you play the Lions in a week and you are exhausted the next week, huh?
Correct. The Lions historically will beat up a team that they play, and all this number is telling you that the Browns had a hard week because they had to play the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
So Vikings, I'm not crazy about this game either. I more than likely won't be playing this game. With the 3 with the hook, the 3.5. If I played this game, I would go ahead and take the Vikings on the money line.
And I'm curious to see if they go with Joe Flacco or if they do. Coach Stefanski's been sort of non-committal in a unique way that he isn't normally. So who knows? Even on a short week, it's possible they give the rookie a chance to light a spark for the Cleveland Browns. Mike, Izzy, any thoughts?
Another test game for Carson. I do believe JJ will come back, but yeah, that's all I gotta say. The Browns defense should have their way in this game.
I mean, I don't like this game at all. I don't know what's going to happen.
It's so many wild cards together.
If I was the Browns, I would start the new guy. I would start Dylan Gabriel, but probably they're going to go with Flacco and fix everything because they have the mini bye. I think they have a bye, don't they, this next week after that? I don't know, Brian, but the Vikings are better than the Browns, even with Carson Wentz. But I'm not touching that game. Just not touching it.
I look for the Vikings to bounce back, especially that dismal showing that they had against the Steelers in Ireland. I think the Vikings bounce back. Generally, good teams, good to excellent teams that lose a game the week before have a real good showing the week after.
Gotcha. And by the way, the Browns have Vikings coming up here, then at Steelers versus Dolphins, at Patriots, and then that's going to be the bye there a couple weeks from now. So, yeah, just playing across the pond is always a strange one, and especially if you're on the coin flip chance of starting a new quarterback with another quarterback on the other team. Who the heck knows what you're going to get?
Brian, it's really hard, to make a change like that when you're in a foreign country. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do by any stretch. So, and yeah, I think the Vikings played well enough last week that I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to pull it out this week, but the Browns defense is better than the Steelers defense. So this game confuses me. My caveman mind cannot wrap its head around it. So I'm just going to run away.
My caveman mind was that caveman lawyer, unfrozen caveman
simple.
lawyer.
Yeah, frozen. Yeah, unfrozen caveman lawyer. Yeah.
Love that. Like simple caveman mind. Oh, rest in peace. One of the greatest comedians of all time. Okay, Raiders versus Colts. Colts are giving 6.5. Colts on their side, favorites of 4 or more points are 22, 3-1 straight up. Do you like this one, Jim?
I do like this game. Like I said before, my example with the Vikings, the Colts are a good football team, and I see them bouncing back after that loss to the Rams. And Izzy's rolling his eyes; he doesn't agree. So, if you actually think the Raiders are going to cover this 6.5, Izzy?
Oh no, I agree.
don't think
I
so.
agree. I'm Colts all the way. I got the Colts.
Smith is starting this game, as far as the last I heard. So
As long as Geno's a quarterback, I don't think they're winning a game.
okay, that's what we're looking for: wins and losses. So yeah, I like the Colts in this game. They're going to bounce back. I think they're going to destroy Vegas.
By the way, one more quick point on if they switch a quarterback in Cleveland. Obviously, Joe Flacco's not getting anything done. But if you're not aware, Dylan Gabriel played college football 6 years. He was at UCF, then Oklahoma, and then Oregon for the final year. He had the COVID-19 pandemic waiver. The guy's less of a rookie than you've ever seen. He's the most prepared rookie you've ever seen, even on a short week, even in another country. Just a little caveat. Mike, do you have any thoughts on this?
Nope. Well, what, the Raiders Colts?
Raiders Colts given
I'm
6.5.
Colts on the money line, and I'm going to walk away with money. That's what
There you go. Giants versus the Saints. This is a pretty doggone close. Saints are giving 1.5. Saints are favored by 1.5. So the Giants are 20-14 against the spread as a road dog. Spencer Rattler is 0-10 straight up as the starter. What does this translate into for you, Jim?
This is a corner TV game. I won't be watching this game, and I more than likely will not be playing this game. I don't understand the line. Normally, when a team has a good showing, especially a poor football team like the East Rutherford Giants, I mean, them going into a dog as a dog against the Saints, and especially having Jackson Dart. What they're telling you is that the Giants are probably on a neutral field would be a 1.5 favorite, because home field advantage is usually worth 2.5 to 3 points. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're favoring the Saints in this game.
Are they the Aints or the Saints? Are they doing the paper bag thing over their heads again? I mean, is that really a home field?
I don't know if they started that yet, and that's a thing they used to do. When Archie Manning was the quarterback for the Saints. But Spencer Rattler, 0-10 straight up as a starter. Say no more.
Yeah, and the Giants without their number one receiver. Izzy, Mike, any thoughts on this?
No.
No, not really. It's going to be worse. One of the worst games of the year.
Well, the way the NFL, any given Sunday, who knows? Maybe we'll see a 37-34 burnout or something. But yeah, we'll just keep our eyes lightly on this one out of the corner.
Yeah, the point total is relatively low on this. Also, the point total is 41.5.
Okay.
So if you're a degenerate like Mike, and you got to bet the game, bet the under.
Gotcha. All right. Cowboys are playing the Jets. Cowboys are giving 2.5 at the Jets. The Jets are 6-16 against the spread when the spread is between +3 and -3. Jim?
Yeah, Cowboys going into the Jets. I mean, Cowboys are going to be exhausted in this game. After playing that long overtime game against the Packers. Again, I don't have an opinion one way or another on this game, other than the Jets statistically are 6-16 against the spread. When the spread's between 3 and -3. I won't be playing this game.
Anyone playing this game? Mike, is he?
Well, Cowboys are going to win. I am a little concerned now that Jim brings that up about their level of fatigue, but it's the fucking Jets. So, I think if you could tempt me, you could tempt me into a Colts on the Colts, Cowboys, Cardinals part.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, at least Colts and Cowboys
on the money line.
But one thing to throw in for you guys, we're getting our star linebacker back, Demarion Overshown. He played a great year last year until he got hurt again, and we're getting our third round corner, Siobhan Rebel, and Another starting corner who played really good last year. Well, we're getting 3 starters back this week. Just throw that in there for defense.
Your defense will
especially.
be less trash theoretically.
Yeah.
Okay, something to factor in. All right, let's look at Broncos Eagles. Eagles are giving 4.5 at home. Broncos are 6-24 straight up on the road. They're 1-3 against the spread in 2025. Broncos are 18-25-1 against the spread. Now the Eagles are 17-8 against the spread. Hurts is 18-0 straight up as a home favorite. 18-0 straight up as a home favorite. Eagles favorites of 4 or more points are 22-3-1 straight up, Jim.
Yeah, the play here obviously is going to be the Eagles. The Broncos are not a good road team, especially just after playing on Monday Night Football. They're going to have a one less day of practice, traveling to the Eastern time zone.
We're talking about practice, man, not a game. Not a game. We're talking practice. Mike, thoughts on this game?
Well, again, Eagles to win for sure. Now I'm starting to think, okay, I'm going to go Colts, Eagles, Cardinals, Cowboys. I don't know. I'm confused. I like the Eagles to win this game pretty comfortably. 4.5 is a little high for me. But I like the Eagles obviously to win.
Well, if you think the Eagles 4.5 is high, how about the Cardinals giving 8.5 to the Titans? At home, the Cardinals there. So the Titans are 10-10-1, 10-10-1 against the spread on the road after a loss. The Titans are 3-18 against the spread. They're just not getting it done. And the Cardinals, favorites of 4 or more points, are 22-3-1 straight up, Jim.
Yeah, Cardinals on the money line all day on this game. 8.5. Your mama bets 8.5. I'm not laying 8.5, especially a corner TV game like this one.
Yeah, not in an NFL game.
The Cardinals are not all that. Kyler Murray's not all that, and the Titans are horrific. So
terrible.
All that equals taking the Cardinals on the money line.
Mike, do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Geez, I like the Rams. I like the Colts. I don't like the Cowboys as much, but I like the Eagles. I like the Cardinals. Damn, I like a lot of teams this week.
I think that Broncos thing could be a little sneaky. I don't know. I just have a feeling of sneakiness there. But
I don't see that. I watched, the Broncos in fairly significant detail last night, and I don't see how they beat the Eagles. So
okay. Let's look at Lions Bengals. Lions are giving up 10.5 on the road in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Lions are 40-12 straight up, 15-7 against the spread. Jared Goff is 20-5 against the spread on the road. Lions favorites of 4 or more points are 22-3-1 straight up. Lions double-digit favorites are 10-10 against the spread and 18-2 straight up. The NFC North is 34-21-2 against the spread versus non-division opponents, Jim.
Yeah, again, another money line bet. I'm not laying 10.5 with any game.
3 points for the Bengals, 3 points for the Bengals. The Lions are easily putting 40 points on the board, 31, 35. I don't know.
If you need an example, see the Bills-Saints game last week.
Okay.
So I'm not laying double-digit favorites. I know the Bengals are horrific, and Mike's probably right. The Bengals are probably going to score a field goal, and that's probably going to be it. So, the Lions all day on the money line.
Izzy, Mike, thoughts? Anything?
Yeah.
Yep.
Lions on the money line. Absolutely. 10.5 is just too much.
All right.
Although they'll probably win it. But, this is one of those games, Jim, like you said before, so let's say the Lions get up 24-3 in the third quarter. They just take their foot off the gas, and maybe the Bengals get a garbage time touchdown or 2. And it's just too big a line to take that risk.
Yeah.
Fair point. All right. Redskins at Chargers. Chargers are giving 2.5, and the Redskins are 15-9 against the spread, Jim.
Yeah, not a lot of information on this game.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. I looked as I think the Chargers will destroy the Redskins in this game, especially coming off that embarrassing loss back east
That was
against Vrabel's Patriots. So I would 2.5 is a good number. I would go ahead and make a play with Harbaugh and Justin Hebert on the San Diego Superchargers.
Justin Hebert.
Bobby Hebert.
That's goes back to Bobby Hebert, New Orleans Saints.
Nice reference. I thought I went in for a deep cut when I pulled up the Saints quarterback, but you got me with the Bobby Hebert. Patriots Bills. Bills are giving 8.5 points. Okay. Vrabel is 26-14-1 against the spread as a dog of 3 or more points. Bills are 13-0 straight up at home. They're 14-10 against the spread. And the Bills, favorites of 4 or more points, are 22-3-1 straight up.
Yeah, there's no way in my lifetime I'm laying 8.5 in a division game with the Patriots. This is not a big travel game. You know, Foxborough is not that far from Buffalo. It's not a big travel game. Bills 13-0 straight up at home. If you absolutely somebody puts a gun to your head, it's Bills money line. You ain't laying that 8.5. Not in a division game like this.
Well, and the Bills didn't play that well last week against the Saints. The Saints stayed in the game competitive. So
correct.
I figure the Patriots are better than the Saints for sure. So
correct.
And then we got Chiefs giving 3 against the Jaguars. Jaguars are at home. Chiefs are 7-11 against the spread. Go get a Slurpee. Patrick Mahomes is 29-12-1 straight up as a favorite of 3 or fewer points or an underdog, Jim.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about this game. Chiefs haven't been that impressive on the road this year, and the Jaguars are coming off a big win in Santa Clara, so you know their heads might be pretty big in this game. I'm not looking to play this game at all. If I'm looking for a hedge game, I'm probably go ahead and take Buffalo on the money line if you absolutely have to have a hedge to protect your ticket. You know, and we discussed that at length last week. So.
Right. Okay. Well, any final thoughts on that? Are we good? All right. Well, I guess the last thing we need to do here is pick our teams. If you all have this pulled up on your screen here. I sucked last week, 7-9. I was crushing up until last week. So I think I'm tied with Mike right now. We need to get Izzy and Jim into our league somehow, if possible. But 7-9, not my finest hour. So I'm going to try to do better this time. I'm going to take the Rams over the Niners. I'm going to take Cleveland over Minnesota. I do think I think something's going to change there. Dallas, New York. I want to go Jets, but I'm going to take Dallas. Denver, Philly, I'll take Philly. Houston, Baltimore, I got to go with Houston since Baltimore's missing their quarterback and their defense sucks. Vegas, Indy, I'm going Indy. Miami, Carolina, I'm going to go Carolina minus their star receiver in Miami. New York, New Orleans, blech. Giants, I guess. Tampa Bay, Seattle, that's going to be a pretty good one. I'm going Tampa Bay. I think they're gonna bounce back there, but Seattle's playing tough this year. Tennessee, Arizona, I'm going Arizona. Detroit, Cincy, that's Detroit all day. Washington, Los Angeles, I'm going Chargers. KC, Jacksonville. Sadly, I think KC's righting their ship and they're getting healthy at the right time. In Buffalo, we'll take out New England. Jim, do you want to do yours caveman style? Unless Mike's. Oh, no, here we go. Perfect. Caveman style. Unfrozen caveman NFL picker.
Caveman style. All right. I've got, I'll take the Rams against the Santa Clara. Go ahead and go with the Vikings against the Browns. Taking Dallas against the Jets. I'll go Eagles against the Broncos. I'll roll the dice and I'll say that Baltimore squeaks out a win against DeMeco Ryans. And I'll go ahead and take Indy against the Raiders. I'll take the Panthers to go ahead and beat the Dolphins after their big win on Monday night. I'll take the Giants to beat the Saints. I got our Seahawks against the Buccaneers. I'll take Arizona all day against the worst team in the league. We'll go Detroit against the Bengals. Chargers will beat the Redskins. Buffalo will squeak one out against Vrabel and the boys. And I looked for Jacksonville to go ahead and win this game against Mahomes.
And before you spin it, what was your record last week? What's your overall? Because I know I'm tied with Mike. We're 41-23. That's solid.
Last week was not good. It was 11-5 last week.
You're 41-23. I'm 43-21. I mean, we're all starting to get bunched up here. Yes, last week kind of rocked a lot of us. Let's see what Michael Penis Jr. is going to do. How did he do last week, Mike?
Well, last week I was 12-4. I can't really say anything bad about that. 43-21 for the season, so coming off a bad week. Let's jump ahead to week number 5. And San Francisco, Los Angeles. Again, I think 49ers are beat up. Rams are going to pull it out again. They're at home. Cleveland Browns versus Minnesota Vikings. Sorry, the Vikings are a little more complete. I think that they're going to win that game. And Cleveland is, I believe, journeyed to Ireland this week. And so it's going to be just an advantage to the Vikings for that.
That's right.
Cowboys over the Jets. Until the Jets show me something, I'm not taking them. I like.
By the way, Mike, how weird is that they're doing Ireland and then England? How weird is that? You're doing two across the pond. That's so weird.
Well, they're trying to grow the game internationally, so that's what you got to do. You got to have a lot of games. So,
but the same team doing it weeks back to back.
Yeah,
that's the part that's weird for me.
It is a little weird, but. Minnesota got a Super Bowl. Explain that one to me.
Well, and also the lore of the Vikings coming over from, that general region of the universe.
Did invade England and Ireland back in the day, so who knows? Maybe that's
part of it.
Holy shit, we're getting a history lesson.
Yeah. Eagles, Broncos. Broncos looked okay, but they were only playing the Bengals last night. I think they go on the road and get roasted by the Eagles. Houston and Baltimore. Look, I know Lamar's out. I know he's out. I love CJ Stroud. I love him. But I can't see them Texans going on the road and beating any team, much less the Ravens. I think the Ravens have enough left, and they're desperate enough. They'll win it. I like Colts over the Raiders. Absolutely. Crummy game of the week. Do the Panthers bounce back to their form of 2 weeks ago at home? I think they do. I just don't believe in the Dolphins, even though I'd take Tua over Bryce Young in a flash. Saints, Giants. I'd like to pick Spencer Rattler to get his first victory as a starter. I can't. I just don't think they're very good at all. And the Giants are still riding the Jackson Dart high. He will probably struggle a little bit, but I do think the Giants have enough juice to go in there and beat the Saints. And I'm going to have to endure all the Russell Wilson is 0-3 and Jackson Dart is 2-0 stuff this week. But that's okay, because 7 weeks from now, I'm going to be the one putting up the Miss Me Yet Russell Wilson posters on their Twitter feeds. Tampa Bay, Seattle. This is a game I would have picked Tampa. Both teams are 3-1, but they're really beat up. So I'm going to take the Seahawks at home to edge one out against the hyper-competitive Baker Mayfield. Cards, Titans. I just can't pick the Titans. I think the Cards get back to winning ways at 3-2. Bengals, Detroit. Come on. I think that since the Bengals haven't done anything at quarterback yet, this may be the week where the fans start screaming from the rafters, if you don't go get another quarterback, we're going to lynch you, Mr. Brown. Something like that.
That is the Kitty Cat Bowl. You got the Lions and the Bengals. The Kitty Cat Bowl.
I'm not willing to give the points, but I can see this game being 43-3 or 43-6 at home. And when you get I think this is the game that if the Bengals haven't made a move at quarterback yet, they will after this game. I like the Commanders Redskins over the Chargers. Chargers just looked awful last week, and they're down to their third string left tackle. I think that the Redskins are going to take advantage of that. I like the Bills just barely over New England. If New England plays as well as they played last week, they're going to give them a game. And I like the Chiefs. I think they're on a roll. I think they're getting their momentum going. It is a September Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes game. As much as the Jaguars have some things to be positive about, I do think the Chiefs come in and squeak that one out. The only way that game turns is
but it's October now, Mike.
Well, yeah, that's true. Technically, it's October, but the only way that game turns, in my opinion, is if it's 100 degrees. Then I think that the Chiefs might wilt a little bit in that weather. But I have two things to say. I have my big balls and my little balls parlays for this week. My little balls, tiny balls, Rams, Cards, Lions on the money line. These are all weak ass money line parlays. But my big balls parlay is: do I have the guts to do this and risk a meager $100? Rams, Colts, Eagles, Cardinals, Lions, all on the money line. That's my big balls money line. I don't know. I'm going to bet one of those two this week. I don't know.
Big balls, little balls. I sense a new segment coming. We got to put this out on X. Over at Seahawk Boy Mike B. All right, Izzy, let's get yours. How did you do last week? What's your overall? And let's get your picks. Yeah, I know. I did bad last week.
I did horrible. I went 8-8.
Better than I did.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad week last week. I gotta go caveman style again. I'm still streaming off my phone. So San Francisco, Los Angeles, I got the Rams. I feel like Puka Nacua is gonna torch it. If you like player props, I say smash the over on that one. Vikings, Browns. I really want to give it to the Browns, but I don't know what's gonna happen with that QB situation. So I'm gonna take the Vikings, but I take the Browns if they knew what was happening, and definitely at the quarterback position. Dallas, New York, I'm gonna take Dallas. I feel like some key defensive guys are coming back, so we should breeze, especially after a competitive game. The team knows what they're capable of when they play their roles. Denver, Philadelphia. I'm gonna take Denver. I feel like they can edge it out like a 27-17 win. I got Denver taking the win on that one. I feel like they're similar teams.
That's a big balls bet of the week, I think.
Yeah. Houston, Baltimore. I agree completely with Mike. The O-line is not there for the Texans. I love CJ Stroud. I believe he's a great quarterback. But the team, the scheme and the team that he has surrounded around him, I still don't believe they have enough to take out the Ravens, especially with Cooper Rush. He's a veteran. He can come in. He's a serviceable backup. He can win you a game if you need it. So I'm gonna take the Ravens there. Raiders, Colts. I got the Colts. I'm gonna take the Colts again this week. I don't see them losing to the Raiders at all. Dolphins, Panthers. I feel like it's gonna be a competitive game, but I'm gonna take the Dolphins. If Bryce Young doesn't show that he can throw for more than 250 this game against the Dolphins secondary, then it's confirmed that he can't do it in the league. New Orleans, New York. New York is the better defensive team, but New Orleans has been playing some competitive games. I'm gonna give it to New Orleans. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. They'll get their first one this week. Seahawks, Tampa Bay. I got the Seahawks winning. I didn't know Tampa Bay suffered that many injuries on offense, so I'm gonna take the Seahawks. I think I've taken the Seahawks all year this year. So Tennessee, Arizona. I got Arizona. Tennessee is just a horrible team. They'll get the first round pick this year, and I think that's how that's gonna go. Lions, Bengals. I'm gonna take the Lions as long as Jake Brown is at quarterback. They're not winning a game. Chargers, Redskins. Yeah, I know they lose Joe Alt. That's a huge loss. And yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers. I'm gonna still go with Justin Herbert. I feel like last week was a bad week. Get your first loss out the way. See how it goes from there. Bills, Patriots. I'm gonna take the Bills. All the betting statistics were there. So I'm gonna go with them, and then Kansas City, Jacksonville. I got Jacksonville going 4-1. That's another ballsy pick I got. So those are my picks for this week.
All right. Excellent, fellas. So I guess we're going to just avoid the Bad Bunny conversation. Any final thoughts, Mike? Any upcoming event you want to tell people about?
Yeah, I'll be in Rocaconoma, something like that, New York this weekend, speaking at the first, what is it going to be? New York Awakening Summit. We'll be talking about the secret history of the United States. And then I jump on a plane to Orlando from New York to go to the Super Soldier Activation Conference the following Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Disney World or near Disney World. I'll be hanging around Disney World. Come out and see me. And by the way, on MikeBaraPets.com tonight, which is a website that sponsors my podcast, you can win a raffle for a $60 gift card from Mike Bara Pets. Any product you want. All you have to do is order something before midnight tonight, and you're in the raffle, and we'll pick a winner tomorrow.
That's Mike Bara Pets.
Pets.com.
Nice.
Mushroom-based, holistic supplements for your dogs, all your fur babies, dogs, cats, horses, donkeys, whatever.
Interesting.
And humans.
Very cool. Izzy, final
Great.
words?
Final words is the Dodgers are going to sweep the Reds, and hopefully we get a Dodger Mariner World Series.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I'm rooting for the Mets if the Dodgers lose. I mean, the Mariners if the Dodgers lose.
Jim, final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. The Falcons, the Bears, the Packers, and the Steelers all have the week off. So we're playing a short schedule this week. And I'm not going to watch the baseball. I'm going to go in my backyard and watch the grass grow.
Well, look, we're down 0-1 against the Tigers. Tarek Skubal pitched a great game, but we had 2 unforced errors. We beat ourselves, but the next 2 games are still in Cleveland. We just got to win 2 in a row to keep it going, to go play the Seattle Mariners in the next round. Fingers crossed. Go Try.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. You know, I got some Tribe ties. So.
Oh yeah, Izzy's got a custom Indians hat with his name on it. Maybe he'll wear it.
If you guys got the time, New York Yankees, Boston, top of the 7th, 2 on, 1 out. Great pitching out. So.
Heck yeah.
Well, gentlemen, go watch his grass grow.
Well, you live in Vegas. There's no grass. It's just dust.
And if anybody needs legal representation, we've got Dewey Cheatham and Howell.
Why I oughta.
All right.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll be back next week for Strictly Football. We appreciate you. We love you, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everyone.
Yep.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the